Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. A huge day in the Valorant world yesterday. Not just some crazy matches with some important implications at the VCT Sao Paulo Lockin event, but also what's going on with the Guard. Releasing and making redundant a large swathe of their organization yesterday. It's still unclear what's going to happen to their Valorant team as a result, but could the Guard be leaving Valorant entirely shortly after forming a team that was potentially going to make it all the way to Ascension and through to the pro tier scene? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always. We've got to dive straight into this today. So last night the discussion was that every single employee at the Guard has been laid off. Now the Guard is quite a complicated structure. There's the Guard, that's like the overall organization owned by Cronky Sports and Entertainment. Within that they've got the Los Angeles Guerrillas, their Call of Duty League roster. They've got the Los Angeles Gladiators, their Overwatch team. But the Guard has laid off a lot of employees. Pretty much the entirety of their media, their content people, their merchandising staff, like everything is gone. And I'll admit, the other day I was talking about the Guard in a positive light and saying that, okay, if they did qualify for Ascension, maybe if they've still got the investment at the time, Riot would consider getting them in, and maybe this is a good reason why the Guard weren't selected to come into the franchise league, given, well, what's happened here. And maybe Riot saw something like this coming, right? And look, these layoffs are incredibly frustrating for the industry and for the people affected, especially in the manner that it's happened, because a lot of these people have been asked to move out to LA, and then very shortly afterwards just been removed from the organization with no further, repercussions. And I think some of the guys moved out literally in the last 48 hours and have now been immediately just dropped and removed off the organization with nothing further to happen. So is this basically the Guard saying, you know what, esports, it's not working, the way we're doing it isn't working, we're going to leave esports, call it a day? And of course a lot of these organizations burning so much money through venture capital and the like, and some organizations don't have the right approach, and it's unfortunately the employees that pay the price for stuff like this. I thought, look, the Guard does a lot of things. They have a lot of YouTube channels, they're making good progress on the media side, on their teams, they've paid a lot of money for a lot of these rosters, and I imagined they were willing to commit that investment for a good couple of years to build up their presence, build up their brands, get more revenue streams via sponsorships and merchandising and all this type of stuff, and then they'd be in a good position to join the upper echelon of esports organizations. But it seems like they've just decided, you know what, someone's made the call that this isn't working, and either they're just going to cut everyone and leave esports, or they're trying to rebuild a very small skeleton team, as a lot of other organizations have done lately with massive layoffs, but nothing to this extent in esports. The question is, of course, people are asking, what does this mean for their Valorant team? Their COD team is going to stay there. I think some of their staff might be cut, but in general, that's going to be how it is. But the Guard is the same organization as they are in Valorant. Now, we don't know what's going on with the Valorant team right now. I know people have speculated that they're going to be dropped and it's going to be gone, and they're going to get rid of their entire Valorant team, which might well happen. We don't really know at the moment. None of the guys on the Guard have really tweeted anything about this, right? I imagine they don't want to piss their employer off because they're going to get fired if they do or something. But Trent hasn't tweeted anything. The frustrating thing for many here is the fact that the Guards turned down offers. A lot of these players, right, they could have left to go to tier 1 teams. Trent would have had offers, there were offers there, but Guard said, you know what, no, we're going to pay a good salary, we're going to keep you here, we're going to make it work in tier 2 and all this stuff. And now these players, having had those opportunities, are now potentially going to get released by the Guard, and they'll be a free agent team. Look, I'm sure an organization will pick them up if so, or a tier 1 team will actually make a change to get some of these guys on board. But nonetheless, a massive story, a massive deal. Don't know what this means next for the Guard, whether their Valorant team can actually remain long term, because the rumor was that all of their employees are gone. That's not fully true. Some remain, and I imagine the pros remain, but their Apex team, I believe, is gone. So if their Apex team is gone, then is their Valorant team gone as well? I don't know. And Sentinels are just straight up calling out the organization here for the way they've behaved here, because I believe 100 Thieves, when they made pretty big layoffs recently, they tried their best, from our understanding, to relocate those guys to new homes and to make it make sense there. The Guard have just dropped everyone and said, unlucky guys, it is how it is, just make your own way now, which and that's obviously potentially going to affect their players as well if that is how it is. So yeah, really interesting stuff. I know that obviously Sentinels tweeting this does cause a bit of controversy, making a statement like this against an organization, a rival, kind of rubbing salt in the wound in a sense, but also are Sentinels going to be consistent in the long term? Will they have to make layoffs at some point? These questions will be raised. Let's move on from that quickly. Just wanted to mention here, because Hazed, it does seem, has been dropped by TSM, and the question was, is he just going to retire? Has he actually been dropped from the team? What's going on there? Seems to me that he's playing with Mad Lions, so they might be making some changes, whether Will is gone or exactly what the situation is there, but it does seem like TSM Hazed was spotted playing with Drone and Zekro on that Mad Lions team, so those are the changes they might be looking to make. And obviously Sentinels play in the coming days, and Sentinels say all they do is scrim, we can't even get content. So apparently they're practicing very well indeed, Sentinels, for their matches in a couple of days time, but they play tomorrow with 3 more massive games going on today, as we shall see here in a second. Obviously last night though, some crazy games. Team Secret played Team Liquid first up, and I thought this is going to be a pretty good series. I expected it to be quite close, but I thought Liquid should be the stronger team and come out on top, but not the case at all. Team Secret demolished them here. Now Liquid played pretty poorly, I can't lie, but Team Secret were on great form. They were actually singing in one of these rounds, and the Pacific region in general is just looking super strong this tournament so far. America's up and down, EMEA easily upset, straight back to the airport, but the Pacific region, man, they are looking really dangerous right now. And yeah, Team Secret, they won the first map and then took down Team Liquid like a hot 2-0 here, 13-7 it was on the Fracture as well, and it wasn't even close, to be honest, this series. Nats tried his best on the game too, and pretty funny, right? So they found this tier list that Liquid Valorant did, where they put Team Secret in the C tier, and Team Liquid were like, yeah, well, they're going home first round, so unlucky guys. And then, of course, well, we saw what happened as a result of that nice tier list. So great job from Team Secret, honestly, it's funny to see. And man, Nats, I feel bad for this guy. He got costed hard this series. Game 1 was a bit up and down for both teams, 13-8 in the ends, but yeah, Team Secret started out with a 10-2. Team Liquid kind of brought it back, but in the end it wasn't enough. And then Fracture, Nats was 26-14. Like, look at this, Soulcast 6, Safe 8, Redgar 5. Like, I mean, man, the teamwork, the coordination, the spacing wasn't there. Whether it's a comms issue, whether it's just a straight up team chemistry issue, I don't know. But Team Secret were very impressive, and they just dominated this series. So yeah, Liquid, one of the, not exactly favourites from EMEA. I would have said they're maybe like the 3rd EMEA team, but they did got destroyed in the series, man. Like, it was not even close. But one team did bail EMEA out, and that, of course, being Na'Vi. I mean, what a bad series this was, to be honest. Like, Angel in this game too on the Lotus. This was arguably the best attacking side I think we've seen so far this tournament. They demolished Crew on the attack here. Angel was doing it all. He was top fragging the server, which you do not see very often, but if Angel's top fragging and Shao and Sagetsu didn't have to do that much, then, it does make you think about the way this tournament could go for them. I also got to mention, because Na'Vi and this FPX core, they can't win a series or do anything, really, without causing some degree of drama. So Sagetsu actually mentions here, we won 2-0, but admins wouldn't let me use the tech pause. Please let me use tech pause next time. Says I wanted to restart my game. So we don't know the full story here, because I can't imagine the admins just said, oh, you've got a perfectly valid reason to do a tech pause and restart. Like, yeah, you can't do that, mate. I imagine there was some reason why they said no, whether he just wanted to restart and take a tech pause, or whether, like, there was actually no good reason to do so. I don't know. They won 2-0 anyway. But, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. What the full story is there, we don't know, but I thought it was pretty interesting regardless. And even Zoms, can you believe it, giving some credit to Angel and saying that was the best attacking half of the tournament so far. And to Angel, like, obviously he said singular limb is scary, but they got the job done in the end. So 2-0 over Crew. I mean, this was honestly a demolition job after game 1 was 13-5. Game 2, though, Crew had a 9-3 half, but then Lotus, I mean, Na'Vi just completely wiped them on the T side. And Angel on the Omen, the IGL, he's like, 33 years of age making plays on the Omen here, 27 frags to win the series. Like, yeah, and Crew immediately go home. I thought they were pretty good, but Na'Vi are just class above right now. And then the final series, another very interesting one, Leviathan versus Zeta Division. I told you guys yesterday, and we saw it from others, the likes of Som, that he believes this Leviathan team could legitimately win the entire tournament. They are that good. So I expected them to win last night against Zeta Division. That is exactly what they did. Close game 2 of the series, but another 2-0 swift one of the day, to be honest. Leviathan take them down 2-0. Got to mention that SugarZero mentioned after this series that he was actually in-game leading the team. I believe Crow used to do that job, but that's not been the case for some time now. So I do wonder whether Zeta will eventually move on from Crow, just because if SugarZero is doing the IGLing jobs, then I'm a little bit confused, because I thought Crow was on the team to do maybe that. Of course, he had a pretty rough time of things game 1, but Mazzino, he was just on fire. And yeah, Leviathan are looking rather good. They looked really good at last year's World Championship, actually, but then it kind of fell apart, and they almost looked too good to be true there. They might now be the real deal Leviathan, so it's an exciting prospect for this team. Mazzino didn't quite have the highest rating though of the day, neither did Shy or Envy from Secret, because zyppan and Angel took the top spots. There was some, as you can tell, rapid series going on yesterday. So let's talk about the games that are going on today and the future of this. 100 Thieves are already preparing for the worst, flying to Brazil to get first rounded. It is a possibility today. It is nonetheless unlikely, but again, pretty tricky to call some of these series, especially when the Chinese teams are at play. We saw the other Chinese team that is now FPX, of course. They put up a pretty good fight against, I believe it was a Screams team like Karmine Corp in the very first round they played. Karmine Corp, though, weren't particularly good over over the course of the tournament. They won that series 2-1 against the FPX guys, but Edward Gaming should be a cut above, you would imagine, but it's pretty similar, I believe, in the Chinese region between Edward and FPX based on recent performances. But 3 games today. Vitality Global Esports. This is a series I'm really excited for to see how Global Esports can perform for the Indian scene. Then Foot versus RRQ. Another RRQ lately, I think, even played Liquid in some tournament online or something, and I think they even won 2-1. It was a close series. So we'll see how this goes. And then I'm really looking forward to the final series as well. 100 Thieves versus Edward Gaming, just to see how what should theoretically be North America's best, right? NRG are very good. NRG might be the best team in North America, to be honest, but 100 Thieves, like in terms of pure form, they come in looking the best. They won the Red Bull home grounds. They've been looking the best generally from North America for a little bit of time, and whether they are the best, I don't know, but of course they've got all the practice time now. They've got all the run up to this tournament. They've got all the chemistry with their team. They should be in a great position to make a run, and they certainly have a bracket that is conducive to just that. So we'll see if Edward can put up a fight here. Hopefully they can, and those are the 3 games of today before we then get Sen Fnatic and T1 Furia going on tomorrow. But very much enjoy your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.